Hello and welcome back to Kate's Place. My name is Kate, and if we have never met before, I am so happy that you found my channel. On my channel, you are going to see planning, zero-based budgeting, cash stuffing, and so many other things. And today I'm super excited because I'm going to be doing a June week 3 check-in and preparing to do the week 3 closeout. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want to stick around, make yourself comfortable, grab a snack, grab a beverage, and let's get into the video. Well, hello, and it is that time to where I am going to do my kind of check-in for week 3 to see how we're doing and start preparing to close the week out. Because we are getting near to the end of week 3 of June and getting ready to move into week 4. So what I have here is these are my budget categories. I do the highlighter method, and this is something that I created. It is in my Build a Budget Planner. So what I did is I did my household bills. So all my household bills are this color, all my debts here, subscriptions, entertainment, all my variable expenses, and then my sinking funds as I use them, they get assigned a color, my savings, and then any type of income as well. So what I do is I always keep this sheet available for me when I do my budget. And I believe in one of my other videos, somebody had mentioned how they were interested in how I tracked my expenses. So I thought I'd kind of go over that today, and if it's something that everybody enjoys, it's something I may add into, my weeks. So I track anything that we spend, everything and anything. So I keep tracking expenses. I personally do much better on paper. My brain, I have ADHD, and so for me, if I don't write it down, it didn't happen. It's kind of like healthcare. If you don't document it, it doesn't happen. It didn't happen. So for me, I really have to write everything down so that I can see where I'm at. So I track my cash separate from what's in my, my checking account. So for the cash for this week, and I hope this isn't confusing for anybody, for our sinking funds, I added in $165 into sinking funds this week. So that money was added to our cash, and then I took it out of our cash because I put it into their envelopes. So I then count that $65 as saved. And then our living expenses in cash, I had $170. So I deposited that in, $150 for groceries, 20 of it was miscellaneous. And then I had money that was going to be put back into envelopes and into extra debt. I ended up needing to roll that money over. So that money also got rolled over for any groceries or health and beauty or household type expenses that we needed for this week. So that gave me $239 in cash before I went to the grocery store this weekend. And then I went to Walmart and I spent $208 on groceries at Walmart. I spent $6 in household supplies. So Smoker's Depot is a miscellaneous expense. My boyfriend stopped and grabbed what he needed from there. Health and beauty out of our cash was $5. And then we got a tip, so that came in as income of $7. And then we added in, so my boyfriend went golfing, so he took money out of his savings and we added it into our income for the week of $60. And then, of course, he automatically spent 55 of it. And then we put 55 of it right back into savings. So if I were to look into my wallet right now, I should have $21 left in there. So that was what we spent in cash. And then if you watched any of my previous video, we are moving from one checking account to another one. So this week's been a little confusing for me, and we had a few unexpected things pop up. So in our first checking account, I added in from savings our cushion. So we started out the week with $193.99, and then we had income come in for $127.15. That was our side hustle. We got gas for $26. We had a PayPal come out, and Affirm. Target, which was a groceries. So obviously I made that the wrong color. It's supposed to be the corally color. So anything you see in this red color is what I would consider debt. So that was a mistake on my behalf. So that is supposed to be groceries. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make a little note here, so that when I'm adding my numbers up, I know not to put this in debt when I go to close out. We had $5.16 go to savings. I'm so sorry for any shaking. We had another debt payment for pay. Another groceries. So we stopped at Bush's and got steaks for Father's Day. And then we had a PayPal come out, and then we had a subscription come out for $7.99. Another PayPal, another ForPay. PayPal again, another PayPal, an Afterpay, Klarna. I had to transfer money into savings because we had an unexpected expense come in. And then I redeemed my Ibotta rebates. If you've not heard of Ibotta, it's an awesome rebate app where you can submit for rebates for items that you purchase at the store. That was $24.60 that got added to our income of extra income. And then we had another debt payment. And then this one was the unexpected. It was an Amazon Affirm spending of $79.19. So that came in, and then I completely forgot that I did a Cricut subscription, and that was $10. And then we got a refund from Klarna of 40 cents, so that got added in. So our current balance in our online checking account is $43.06. So as of right now, that money is going to be rolling over into next week. Now into our new savings, or into our new checking account, is where my income went into. So my income was as expected, the $1460.07. We had a credit card bill due for $41, and another Affirm payment for $17. So we, in our account, I have it to where it rounds up. So we had 95 cents go into savings. Our spending money got transferred to our spending accounts. This I don't count because I counted it in my cash. So between my sinking funds and our living expenses, that money went into sinking funds and cash envelopes. Walmart, this isn't grocery, this is a health and beauty purchase, so that's why it's this light peachy color. Was $30.80. We had another 20 cents move to savings, another ForPay. So Sunbit is for an auto repair that we're paying off. I consider it a ForPay, but it's really a monthly payment. Sezzle is a ForPay. And then we had our water softener rental charge came out for $42. We had another debt payment of $24. Our internet came out for $47. another 4-pay for $15, a credit card payment for $35, a credit card payment for $30, another credit card payment for $31, and another credit card payment for $40, and then half of our car insurance at $240. We had another savings transfer go in, credit card for $33, another one for $35, one for $40. My consumers, which is our gas, our home heating bill, and for our water heater, came out at $53. We went to CVS and spent $6. I had to do a transfer for a hiccup with the banking transfers that was going on. Sorry, you couldn't see that. So I had to transfer $15 in to cover a fee. My boyfriend had to stop at the Smokers Depot again, and that was a $5 spending. We had another credit card payment of $30, and then I always put $50 into our cushion. So rolling over as of right now into week 4 of June in our checking account is another $83. So once I go through and I have all that information, I am going to calculate it up. So I'll go through, and I'm not going to make you all sit and watch me do this. So what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll add everything up from the different categories, and then I plug it into my week 3 budget to see how we did. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hop off camera and I'm going to do all the math. And then I'll come back and kind of show you where our numbers are and how I pre-plan our closeout. And fingers crossed, we get a good budget and everything zeroes out the way it's supposed to again this week. Last week it was awesome. We had a good closeout. So I'm going to hop off. I'm going to get these numbers ready. And then when I come back, we're going to plug them in and see how we've done so far. Okay, so now that I have gone through and did all the math and the numbers several times, because we didn't quite zero out our budget this week, there is a difference, but that's why I use my budgeting more as a guide. I really depend on what my numbers say on my expense trackers in how they compare to what's in the bank. So as of right now, I still have a couple days left in this week, so this is kind of just the prep. The numbers could change a little bit when I actually do my closeout. So, but to prep for it, because I don't expect there's going to be any change, the income we brought in with both the salary, the side hustle, what we ended up having to pull from savings, and what was transferred over, and what other income we had. We brought in last week 21, 28, 21. For our expenses, I went ahead and subtracted that, which was 400. And when we subtract that, so 21, 28, 21 minus 400, we get 17, 28, 21. And then from that, we want to subtract 748, 47, which gives us 979, 74. And then we want to subtract our living expenses, which were 610, leaving us 369, 74. And then up here in our sinking funds, we want to subtract 165 because that's what went into our sinking funds, leaving us 204, 74. And then for the remainder of money that went into savings that we're rolling over into next week, and then the money coming out of our cash envelope and our cushion, we want to subtract 207.29. So it's a difference of a negative 255. So what I did is when I have something like this, I go back and I double check what my amounts are in my bank and in my cash. And especially my banks, this number and that number right there have to match what is in the bank after all of these expenses have been taken from it. And I can say with 100% confidence that I am not negative $2.55. I am going to be rolling over this 126 because between the two bank accounts, that's what we will have left over to roll over into next week. So I do know that it's something within the numbers that I did that I messed up, that I honestly am not going to spend my time and energy trying to figure out, because even though old me, it would have driven me nuts and I would have gotten really frustrated and had to go back and do it a bunch of times. I have learned that as long as my bank matches my expense tracker, and as long as those numbers equal the same thing, I know that I've done my zero-based budget and I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. So with that being said, we did not have a perfect closeout because I messed up the numbers somewhere, but that's okay. It happens. My bank account is where it's supposed to be, and we are going to make it through the week without being in the red. We had the ability to cover anything unexpected that came up. We had the ability to cover fees that came up between a few bumps that we hit in the transferring of paying our bills from one account to paying them out of another. And we actually got to pay some extra towards debt this week, which made me really happy, because our for-pay number, I only budgeted $200, a little, or I think around $250, and we paid $433. So I like that we were able to pay a little bit extra there, and we had money to get through the week comfortably without having any issues. So with that being said, I am all prepped now to close out week 3 when it is over on Thursday, and I am gonna stop blabbing, and I appreciate everybody who hung on through this video to watch how I prep to close out my budget every week. If you did make it to the end of this video, go ahead and put your favorite tropical emoji down in the comments. And as always, if you have questions or if you have tips or tricks that you do that work well for your budget, especially when it comes to closing it so everything matches out, please leave them down in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video and you have not yet subscribed, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. And I hope that you all have a blessed day, and I will see you next time. Bye.